Warning, the stories you're about to hear are detailed accounts of shenanigans, pranks, and some mistakes that are meant to replicate the sort of discussions that veterans have when they reunite over a cold beverage and do not depict the professional daily actions of the military at large. We hope to make you laugh, but not to disrespect our proud men and women in uniform. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome to Cammo Comedy, where we take a humorous look at the lighter side of military service. We got a big show for you today, but before we jump into it, if you like what we're doing here, give us a subscribe, give us a follow, whatever they call it on your podcasting platform. And while you're at it, give us a 5-star rating, write us a review, as that makes us more relevant in the algorithm and boosts the overall visibility of the show. But word-of-mouth advertising is just so powerful, so if you tell some friends, I will love you forever. Okay, let's jump into the show. I am your host, Aaron Wolf. Joining me today is the great, the powerful, call sign Cheeks. Cheeks, thanks for being here, man.
Hey, I appreciate you letting me be a part of this, dude. I really do.
Hell yeah, we love having you in here.
Public service announcement. Spread cheeks, not hate.
Okay.
Fuck you.
I love that. All right. I love that. You know, we are not a hateful show.
No.
Just so you know. Just so you know. Anyway, everybody in the audience knows, too. Like, we're spreading love.
Cheeks, actually.
Well, also cheeks.
Loads of cheeks.
Loads of cheeks. A lot of love spreading. A lot of spreading,
no
generally.
Hate,
no hate.
No hate.
No hate gets spread on
None.
this show. Okay. Anyway.
Cheeks, butter, and love.
Are you... All right, so are you ready for the first story?
I'm so fucking
All right,
ready.
so check this out, man. It's. Let me set the table here. So in the Air Force, you've got a notion of lightning within 5. Then you also have dorm chiefs. Let me go through each one of those things. So lightning within 5. A lot of things happen on really wide open spaces, flat land. Think about like flight lines in the Air Force and things of that nature.
Sure.
So you have very heavy equipment, not a whole lot of metal sticking straight up. So whenever they have storms that pass through bases, airfields, what have you, if there's lightning within 5 miles of the base, it's just safer to say, everybody go inside. There's lightning within 5, go inside. There's not movement or anything else like that. They ran the numbers on this, and apparently a lot of airmen were getting struck by lightning every year, Air Force wide, because it's a global thing. So they're like, all right, we're done with this. Like, let's just try to work a little bit smarter, not harder. Go inside if there's lightning within 5. And this...
Join the military to go to war and you get struck by lightning.
It's a bad way to go. I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. No. So it's just a safety measure. It's an added safety measure that they're going to say, listen, just go inside. If it's storming out, just go inside. All right. The next thing is a dorm chief. So in basic training, you have student leaders, right? There's like element leaders, and that's, you know, people that have control over a certain amount of your flight or your platoon, whatever they call it.
Yeah, like a platoon guide.
Sure. And then there's a guy that's at the top, that's the top student leader, and he's in charge of the dorm. So he's in charge of everybody, which basically just means that you're going to be the lightning rod for all the problems that happen,
exactly.
Right? Ironically.
You catch all the heat.
Right. So when things are messed up, you're answering for it. It doesn't matter if you had anything to do with it or not, you're answering for it. Right. It's just a way to promote leadership. It's basically just so the drill sergeants have a button to press whenever they need something addressed at the student level, somebody that's probably a little bit more responsible and just says, hey, this is your job, fix it, right? All right. So I say that to say, one night before bedtime, you know, there was, first of all, let me just say, I love basic training stories, right?
Oh, my favorite, hands down.
So you have just dumbass attacks galore. You have a heightened stress level. So everybody's just acting, you know, like they probably ordinarily wouldn't act just because they're out of their element. They're in a controlled environment, all those kinds of things. So that just makes for really funny stories to talk about here on this show. So one night in particular, there was a group of basic trainees who were cleaning up their barracks. It was right before bedtime, and there was a storm that was passing through. And normally what they would do is you would have a couple guys that were on that, you know, in that dorm that would collect up all the garbages, and then they would take it out to the dumpster, right? However, there was a storm coming through. There was lightning within 5 miles, so they said, we're not doing that. It's a safety measure. So their drill sergeant said, listen, stack that stuff up in one of the showers and we'll just address it next morning, okay?
That can't be good.
Well, that drill sergeant goes home for the night. And the next morning, a new drill sergeant who wasn't privy to anything that happened the night before comes in, right? And one of the things that these drill sergeants will do is immediately they're coming in looking for people screwing around, people doing things that they shouldn't be doing, things that are out of sorts. So they go to the bathroom, they check, you know, the bays, all that stuff. So this drill sergeant storms into the bathroom and just sees nothing but garbage stacked up in the shower and fucking loses his mind, yells for the dorm chief. Dorm chief, get over here. So the dorm chief is like dead asleep. And he just gets roused up out of bed and then shoots over to where he heard this commotion coming from because, people start looking at him and you got to go over there. Now, the problem...
Yeah, I'm not going over there.
The problem is he had rock hard morning wood and he was just wearing his tidy whities, right? And apparently this guy had a pretty big hog on him too. So he storms over and, comes to the position of attention and he reports in, sir, Airman so-and-so reports, whatever they have to say, right? So the drill sergeant is just going off, reading them. What the fuck is all this trash doing over here in the shower? Da, da, da. Turns around and then looks at the dorm chief there, like at the position of attention with a rock hard big boner, right? And then the drill sergeant's like, and what the fuck is that?
He's pointing at his dick?
Yeah, pointing at the kid's dick, and he's just like, drill sergeant, it's a boner, sir. And so the drill sergeant, unsympathetic whatsoever, he's like, well, fix it. How do you fix a boner, right? Like, that's the big question.
I can think of one way.
Well, just like, okay, for lack of having any other, like there's not a whole lot you can do.
Right.
So he just kind of lifts the waistband out of his tighty whities and scoops up his cock and then just puts it right into the waistband and then goes back to the position of attention, like hoping that is addressed, like whatever the drill sergeant has been hoping for, like when telling him to fix it. Because, like, for those of you in the audience that might not possess a dick, like, it's not necessarily the easiest thing to just get rid of. Like, they usually have to resolve themselves, like, over a period of time, right? It doesn't just, like, go away.
Yeah.
So, like, if that's what he was after, he's like, I don't know, like, this is rock hard. Like, you just roused me out of bed, and morning wood's a real thing, like, even in basic training. So
when he scoops this thing up, like, you said he was in his tidy white. Did he have a shirt on? Was
no,
that shirt?
he got roused out of bed. So he was in bed in tidy whities, and that's it. So, and this drill sergeant came in right before Reveille and found all this stuff and went nuclear on him. So he just stormed over there as he was.
So this thing had to be sticking out the top of the elastic.
I would imagine. Like, he scoops it up. Like I said, it was a pretty big hog, as what I was told.
Not a stack of nickels.
Not a stack of nickels or anything like that. Like, this guy was maybe that's why, like, the drill sergeant was maybe a little bit
taking
jealous.
Back,
like, you're pointing this big hog at me, and, like, I find it offensive. So I'm telling you to fucking stop pointing at me, right? And, like, how do you really say that?
Yeah.
But anyway, so
boners are great though.
They are great. Like, these stories, like, part of these stories that we find are like boner stories, people beating off, like people getting caught doing things they shouldn't be doing, all those kinds of things, and they just happen to be really funny.
Right. So
anyway, I always love that story. I love basic training stories. It's a great way to kick off the show. It's a great way to kick off what we're doing here.
Yeah, because everybody's got basic training stories, right?
100%, man.
Well, I got another boner story for you, all right? This one one comes from, like, Desert Storm era, all right? Okay. So these guys, they show up, and they're in the desert, and they're getting their little trailer tent area set up, and there's no real privacy in these places. You got your bunk beds and stuff.
Of course.
You kind of make your own rooms with your wall locker if you've got it, or your sheets or your shower curtains and 550 cord. Well, in this specific tent area, they had shower curtain walls, and that's what they were using, the shower curtain walls, right?
Okay.
Well, they were also working night shift.
All right.
So generally speaking, when you're on night shift on a deployment, anybody would know that you don't just kick on the overhead lights like an asshole. You know what I mean? You walk around with your headlamp, you know, just to be nice.
Well, you're courteous. You try to make sure that you're keeping things respectful for everybody else.
Right. Well, this specific person is like a super vanilla, never done anything wrong in his life. And he looks like Stimpy from Ren and Stimpy, like the fat cat dude.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So
30-year-old reference. I love it, though. I love Ren and Stimpy, man.
Yeah. Well, they're in their little trailer. It's nighttime. And one of the dudes wakes up and he kind of peeks around the corner. He sees a light going all crazy. He's like, what the hell is that? So he peeks around the corner to investigate. You have to go check it out, right? You can't just be like, well, fuck that and go back to sleep.
Right.
So he peeks around the corner, sees a headlamp inside of somebody's little bunk area.
Right.
Okay. And it looks like someone's fighting a raccoon in there.
Okay.
So use that as your visualization.
All right.
Visualization. All right. That's your visualization.
Yeah.
My tongue is too big for my mouth, it feels right now.
It happens sometimes to the best of us.
I can't articulate.
Right.
So he peeks around the corner. He sees a raccoon fighting somebody behind a shower curtain with a headlamp, right? He's like, well, what the fuck is that? So he goes and he investigates, gets a little closer, and he starts to see the outline of what this guy, Stimpy's doing inside of his bunk there, right? And he sees, okay, he's got his feet like kicked up into the corners of the bunk bunk bed there, and he's got Mr. Winky in hand, and he is just going ham on it, right?
Just going ham,
just
right?
Beating
So
off in there.
he's got a headlamp on, and he's shooting the headlamp down. I guess that makes sense because we're talking about like early 1990s, so it's not like you could just have a phone. This guy's probably got a magazine out, and he's like, you know what, nailed it. Like I got my miner's overhead lamp that's on my head, and I'm looking down at this magazine, and I'm just gonna have at myself. It's nobody's business what's going on, not realizing he's projecting this onto the fucking shower curtains to everybody to see.
Yeah, he's at Movies 10 right now.
Oh gosh, so like, do you guys another 30-year-old reference? You remember like Austin Powers whenever they would be doing like things like unloading like a bag or something like that, but it looked like somebody was reaching their arm in another person's asshole.
Right, yeah.
Those kind of gags.
Right.
I loved those. Those were hilarious back in the day. So this is basically what he was doing, but he wasn't doing anything that was innocent.
Right.
Not what you're telling me. That's amazing.
He was fighting his own raccoon in his bunk, right? So naturally, you look around, being this guy, you look around, you're like, why am I the only one seeing this?
Oh my
I can't
God,
be the only one.
share this with somebody.
I have to share it, right? So this fucking asshole walks over and wakes up someone. He's like, bro, you got to wake up, right? But he bites his arm first so he doesn't laugh, right? He's biting his arm like, oh my God, I can't make a noise because he's going to know.
This is gold, though.
So he tiptoes over to one of his buddies' bunks. He's like, bro, you got to wake up. You got to wake up. He wakes him up, shakes him, walks him over. This dude's rubbing his eyes. He's half asleep. He doesn't know what the fuck he's looking at. And finally, like, it comes into focus. He's like, what the fuck?
My God.
What the fuck? He doesn't know. He's like, God damn, you woke me up for this?
Yeah.
So they go back to bed. Stimpy wakes up the next morning. They're like, hey, what's going on, shadow puppets? He's like, what? And just perplexed. Like, what are you talking about, dude?
I was so stealthy, though.
I was so stealthy. Like a ninja, right? Worst ninja ever.
Yeah, ninja school, they usually tell you to watch your shadows. They get projected.
You hide in the shadows. No, you don't make the shadows.
Exactly.
So they tell him that was his call sign was Shadow. They bounced between Shadow Puppet and Shadow Warrior for the whole deployment. I think they settled on Shadow Puppet because this dude was not a warrior. He was just absolutely worthless from what I remember.
I can see that.
And they're like, he's like, hey man, Stimpy's like, don't tell anybody, man. Don't tell anybody. They're like, yeah, we're telling everybody. So they tell the commander, okay? So this guy's like a major. He's an 03. Yeah. They tell him, and they're just walking around and doing their thing, and he runs into the commander. Commander's like, hey, what's up, Shadow Puppets?
That's a great way to start out your next day.
Yeah.
What a dickhead.
Yeah. Well,
keep
in mind, this same dude, this guy, Stimpy, not the brightest fella.
Okay.
Okay? We're talking idiocracy level stupid, okay?
By the way, Idiocracy has become one of the greatest documentaries of all time. What started out as a comedy has now shifted and become the greatest documentary. So if you haven't seen it out there in the audience, your homework is to go check out the Idiocracy movie.
Documentary.
I'm sorry. The Idiocracy documentary by Mike Judge. Shout out to Mike Judge.
Fun fact about that movie, actually.
Okay.
Just sparked a memory. So you know the shoes Crocs that people wear around?
Yes.
So
they all wore them in that movie.
They did.
When you look around, you go out shopping or whatever, I see a lot of Crocs.
So originally the costume designer was like, hey, I found these perfect shoes. No one's ever going to buy these. No one's ever going to wear them. And they're like, well, what if they get popular? You know?
They're comfortable as
they
fuck,
are.
but
I have like 14
they look stupid.
pairs. Okay. So they were like, hey, nobody's ever going to wear these. They show them the picture like, oh, yeah, you're right. Nobody's going to fucking wear them. And now they're everywhere.
Oh, that's awesome.
Proof that it's a documentary.
Okay.
So sidetracked. So they're stamping in his Crocs, right?
I could just see that. Did they have Crocs back in 1991?
Well, I don't know, maybe.
I don't think they did.
So there's Stimpy, right? First time they get into their little deployment area, they're in Desert Storm, and the chow hall is loaded with Gatorades and Arizona teas, okay? So that's what they have a lot of
trying to take care of the troops.
Right.
That's what we like.
Well, this guy is terrified of being dehydrated, apparently.
All right.
So what does he do? He drinks all of the Gatorade on the planet. Okay. He says,
I'm not just going to be hydrated. I'm going to be super hydrated.
Super duper hydrated.
Fuck your water. I'm having nothing but Gatorade.
Gatorade for days. So
that's amazing.
Yeah. This guy fucks his kidneys up.
Oh, shit.
He drinks so much Gatorade that his electrolyte balance becomes so out of whack. The dude has to go to sick call.
Oh, no.
The nurse has to check his prostate.
Oh.
Every day for a week.
No. That is amazing.
Every fucking day for a week, he's getting a finger in his anus.
Do we know that, like, maybe he had, like, a crush on this nurse or something like that? Maybe he was, like, ulterior motives here or something.
Yeah, he's like, fuck it.
He's like, I'm not going to get any action here in the desert Storm. That was amazing. I loved that.
Well, that's how Shadow Puppet started his whole documentary. Fucking talking to upper echelon leadership and getting his butthole punched by fingers.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, you want to stay hydrated. You want to mix it up. Balance yourself between First of all, don't take medical advice or hydration advice from comedy podcast shows. But secondly, mix it up. Have a little bit of water. Hydrate or die. Isn't that what Camelback always said?
Yeah, I think so.
Hydrate or die, man. All right. All right. You ready for the next story?
I
got a great one for you. So check this out, man. This is another Air Force story. So you have a young 18-year-old airman who just got out of basic training, and he's reporting into his first duty station for the first time, right? Very intimidated by rank, kind of a sheltered kid, doesn't know a whole lot, and he had learned the Air Force way through, basic training, and that's where they give you, by the numbers, like this is how everything operates, and everything's very formal, and, anybody with rank, make sure that you're very respectful, all that. So he reports in. There just so happened to be a very in-depth exercise that's going out on the base. So it not only is there a lot of rank around, there's also a lot of commotion, a lot of like people being serious, and a lot of things that he just doesn't understand. So this cat is very intimidated. So he's out in their orderly room area looking for like, okay, who do I go to first? Everybody looks really busy. I'm kind of intimidated. Just then his chief walks out and he's thinking, oh my God, like this is more rank than he's ever talked to in his life. The chief goes up to him and says, hey, you're a new face. And the airman's like, yes, sir. It's like, hey, so tell me something. Do you know the difference between a ham sandwich and a blowjob? And the airman's like, no. And the chief goes, oh, great. Hey, you want to go grab some lunch?
What the fuck? Oh, no.
That was his first real-world Air Force experience.
Oh, God.
Right? Of, like, coming from the very serious, very formal, very serious, like, basic training environment.
Basic training environment where you tuck boners into your elastic waistband.
Right. It's that formal. It's that formal where you have to make sure that you tuck.
Yeah.
Don't be pointing your hog at some drill sergeant or you're going to get in trouble.
No casual boners.
No casual boners here.
Formal boners only.
What would you have? Like, what would be a formal versus a casual boner? I mean, how would that look exactly?
Like throw a little top hat on it maybe?
Oh, that would be amazing.
You're a little boner with a top hat.
Little cane, little top hat. So, like, you got to dress it up. Yeah, bow tie. Yeah. Anything to dress it up, really. Like, I would expect that your boner should look a lot like Mr. Peanut.
Yes.
That makes it fancier.
Fact.
That's nice.
It's less offensive that way.
Right. But I mean, and the thing is, like, I don't have any, I didn't get into this when I was interviewing this gentleman. So I don't know if he had a formal or an informal, boner, but I do know that his chief had a definite sense of humor. Right. And that was what is very important. Chief was doing it for his best interest, right? It's important to note that is, we're going to start things off with a joke. He could tell that this young man was pretty intimidated and a little bit out of his element. So
break the ice.
Hey, we're breaking the ice, saying, hey, want to learn about you. He was a good leader. He want to learn about you, where you from, all that kind of stuff like that. Just starting out with a joke.
Yeah.
What a joke, man. And it's like 20 plus years later, he never forgot that. It was a very lasting impression.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I love that story.
I'm going to use that joke. And top hats. Lots of top hats and ham sandwiches.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Love it.
Fuck you.
Thanks for checking out the Cammo Comedy Show Podcast. If you like what we're doing here and you want to participate in this community, there are many different ways that you can contribute. First and foremost, tell somebody about the show. Word of mouth advertising is very powerful, and we really appreciate you for helping us out. If you have any funny military stories of your own or know somebody who does, with their permission, of course, you can contribute those stories via email at stories@cammocomedy.com. That's stories, STORIES, at CAMMOCOMEDY.com. Or if you're not too good at the internets, drop us a voicemail at area code 531-222-6146. That's area code 531-222-6146. That's right, we're giving away our phone number. We want funny military stories from all eras. So if you're not from a generation that's heavily online, we don't want there to be a barrier for participation. We have a lot of big plans for this show, and building this community to support veterans, we will announce here soon, so stay tuned. All right, I'm going to go have a nice spicy bowl of chili. Later.
Fuck
bonus
you.
hole. If you made it through that funky outro music and made it here to listen to this, you're in for a treat, man. I just got to react. We just got to react to some of these stories, man. I mean, there's nothing better than a basic training story to begin with, but talking about one with a nice boner and getting screamed at for it, gold.
Gold. You can't
Best
pass that
thing
up.
that I've heard. I was laughing so hard when I was hearing the story for the first time.
It's hard to get through those stories. Like trying to retell them, and you're just laughing.
It really
through
is.
It. Oh.
You're not. I mean, what do you do? You know, like
tuck it in your elastic
waistband.
waistband.
Like, kudos to that guy for thinking on the fly.
Yeah.
If I was put in that situation, like you just woke up and you're running over there, groggy, getting yelled at. There's nothing worse than like when you first are waking up, you're getting yelled at for something. Your mind isn't even processing things yet, and then you're getting in trouble for your boner.
You have to think that was his whole high school experience, though. Having a hog, he had to have tucked that sucker up.
Probably. Okay, so he probably had some experience, but there was no book to put over it. I mean, I would imagine if you're in high school and you're hiding it under a book or a three-ring binder or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, there's no 3-ring binders that you have when you're waking up, getting screamed at for having garbages in the shower.
But I think that speaks volumes to the elastic on those underwear, too.
Probably.
I
also imagine, this is my own speculation, but it was poking out, like the head was like peeked out of his thing. So in some ways, he probably made it worse.
Yeah.
Or maybe the drill sergeant wanted to peek at it.
Maybe.
That's why he was saying, fix it.
Maybe.
Hoping. You're going to scoop that bad boy up and I'm going to get a load of that head. That doesn't sound right.
No.
You're going to get a peek at the head of your dick outside of your underwear.
Nah, load sounded better.
Load. Yeah. Whenever you're talking about cocks, talking about loads. Speaking of loads, though, like the story I really liked was that chief telling his young airman the joke about blowjobs. Oh, God,
that's
man.
so funny.
So good. Like, you don't hear that stuff. That's over 20 years old by now, I believe.
Oh, you tell that joke nowadays, you're canceled.
Yeah, people are calling that, you were harassed or something like that. Like, I like to promote.
What did you, they're what?
They're harassed.
What?
You were harassed sexually.
What is that word? Harassed? You mean harassed?
Yeah. Harassed. I mean, you
fucking
gotta
hate you.
Get out of here, man. You know what I'm talking about. Like,
Harassed.
he was harassed.
Fuck you.
In some way, shape, or form, this guy could have said that he was harassed, but this is one of the greatest experiences of his life. He still laughs about it to this day. And shout out to that chief for having a sense of humor.
Yeah,
man. Like,
for sure.
I think we want to promote resiliency over victimhood. Like, there's any different ways. Like, there's no different. You can go about your day and find any number of different ways to be offended, but if you're resilient and people say things to you that you don't appreciate, how about just saying, hey, you know what, I don't appreciate that.
I agree. Set your boundaries. Set your boundaries and keep going.
That's the problem. But, it's where you're just saying, hey, man, like, I don't like that kind of humor. You don't have to say that around me. Okay, cool. That's business.
Yeah.
But, I like people that have personalities. I like people that tell funny jokes like that. He took a risk.
He did.
And here we are 20-something odd years talking about it.
Fucking
I love it.
home run.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. Fuck you.
All right, that was good.